Yes, this is We the People Rising, the Remembrance Project, and America First Latinos. We are here in Apple Valley at Congressman Paul Cook's office, a Republican in Apple Valley. It's September the 11th, and we're here to ask our Congress member to stand up and support ICE. And we're going to now head into the office to meet with the Congressman's staff members.
Scheduling this meeting with us. This is Robin, you know me, Raul. This is Mike McKittrick and Lori.
Mike, what's your last name?
McKittrick.
McKittrick? Okay, I don't think we've met before. I'm Dakota Higgins.
Yeah, he was here, I think, at one of the meetings, right, Mike?
Yeah, I'm around a lot.
Okay.
Okay, Dakota, first of all, we'd like to start by acknowledging that today is 9/11,
Yes.
18 years of anniversary. And we want to thank the families who lost a loved one, whether it was law enforcement, fire department, even a person that died in the building. Over 3,000 died, and it's important that we acknowledge the fact that we need to reach out to the families and pray for the families and hope that, you know, it's a very difficult thing to go through. I'm sure you can realize that.
Absolutely. And
When
we're
you
still
lose-
losing first responders due to
Right.
illness after
Right.
the attacks.
So we just want to bring this attention to the men and women who served in whatever capacity to acknowledge them, and they were victims. So also we'd like to bring the attention to, you and I spoke on the phone regarding that you support ICE, so does Paul Cook.
Absolutely.
And we are behind them, and we support them, and we want Paul Cook to acknowledge by having a scheduled conference with the news media stating that he supports ICE, and he will do whatever it takes to continue to fund ICE and support ICE so that they can continue doing their job of representing the Americans that live in this country, because right now they are not safe. Every day you hear about someone being murdered by an illegal, and it's happening too much, too often. They're either raped, murdered, or whatever by these people that are in our country illegally. And they shouldn't be getting benefits that are entitled to our veterans and our homeless and every American that lives in this country. Yet the other party, the Democrats, are giving the illegals and people that don't belong in our country benefits that they're not entitled to. They should be giving those benefits to our veterans and our homeless. I mean, we got 60,000, maybe more in LA alone. And they need to reach out to them and help them to get housing and whatever benefits they need to survive. Because it's just terrible that they're living out in the streets, you know, and the way they do, and it's just unbelievable. So anyway, I'm going to hand this letter to you, and it's basically, rather than read the whole thing, we thank you for the vote, July 18th, in favor of H.R. 990, supporting the officers and personnel who carry out the important mission of the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement. This was the right action to take, but we would ask you to follow an example of the author of that resolution, Congressman Clay Higgins, the GOP lawmaker who led the charge in Capitol Hill to express support of immigration and customs enforcement. So there's some constituents that signed the letter.
Okay.
I signed the letter. Mike is a constituent, and also Loretta Sanchez. I'm sure you know her. She's been with us before. And here's another letter from President Trump.
Okay.
that letter, which is second paragraph,
Yes.
the brave men and women of ICE have recently been subjected to a nationwide campaign of smears, insults, and attacks by politicians shamelessly catering to the extreme elements in our society that desire lawlessness and anarchy. So basically, this is from Trump, and it's asking, and it's got his signature on there. And we're going to give this to you, so you give it to Paul Cook. Here's the packet. My card is in here. Mike, you put yours in here?
Robin's good.
Oh, Robin's.
Yeah, I got one here.
Okay, Robin, you got a card? You want to put it in there? Yeah, okay. Dakota, we'll give you that, and we want to, you want one of these?
Sure. Sure.
I made an extra one, and give it to Paul Cook, and in remembrance of today, it's a very important day for us as Americans, because we need to acknowledge the fact that we had this happen in our country, and it should never happen again. So, anything else? Mike?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank you for letting us in. I really
Absolutely.
very much appreciate it. We like Paul Cook.
Mm-hmm.
We're Republicans. But since the 9/11, there's been 62,000 American citizens have been killed or murdered by illegal aliens. The amount of immigration, illegal and legal, has gone up 30% since that time. So right now there's 2 million deportation orders backlogged in the immigration. So we would like to see Paul be a very vocal and loud supporter of our president in Washington, D.C. and in his office here. And that's what we'd like to see. And we'd like to see him supporting the border wall. We need a strong wall. We need our borders secure, and we need our immigration laws enforced. If we don't do that, we're not going to have a country. There won't be any country for your kids.
Right. And
It's just-
I'll tell you, the congressman he's been down to the border with the Border Patrol, both the official tour and the one that the Border Patrol union gives.
Right.
And the union can generally speak a little more freely. He has co-sponsored multiple pieces of legislation to fund the border wall.
That's
He is,
terrific.
he is a co-founder of the Stop Sanctuary Cities Caucus
Yeah.
with
That's
Congressman
fantastic.
McCarthy. When the local cities in our district were looking at opposing SB 54, the sanctuary state law, he personally requested that different city councils support that. I believe Apple Valley, Barstow, Hesperia, Ukaipa, and I think maybe Needles all ended up taking that position, and I believe maybe Yucca Valley or 29 Palms one of those as well. The congressman was part of the group that helped get Mayor Julie Hackworth McIntyre out in Barstow in front of the president to talk about stopping sanctuary cities. So in terms of his commitment to this issue, I don't think there's any doubt about that.
We really, really appreciate it.
Mhm.
I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. And was there one other thing I wanted to say? But we really do appreciate what he's doing,
Mhm.
and that's all I have to say.
Perfect. Thank you for coming by.
Lori?
My name's Lori Masonius, and I also want to repeat thank you for spending time with us. We really appreciate it.
Mhm.
We just wish more people would do this, and you could hear what people think and say. Pretty much, I'm echoing what they're saying. We appreciate the fact that the congressman is essentially on our side against SB 54, which we know is a state law, not
Right.
congressional level, but and also the fact that he supports ICE. I just wish to see him a little more vocal, a little more presence, awareness for his public to know that. It almost seems like many times what's going on in Washington, D.C. on our side, meaning the party, there's not much public appearance on certain issues, and one of them being the wall or ICE. I would really like to see more vocal activity, even if it does bring him a little more notoriety. But
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. I remember we have a staff meeting going on.
Okay. Yeah, we'll wrap up in just a second. Thanks.
And again, repeat, thank you for your time, thank you for Congressman Cook being on support, being on train for this, all these similar topics. And I just want to say in conclusion, you know, what happened in 9/11, most of those men that were in this country, you know, flying those planes were here, if I'm not mistaken, overextended visas.
Yeah.
They clearly did not have in mind living in this country freely except to take care of their crimes. So keep that in mind, you know, put American lives first, our veterans, our foster children, our homeless. Thank you.
Robin?
Yeah. Yes, again, we thank the congressman for the votes he's taken, but I will just echo what my colleague said. We wish he would hold a press conference, particularly in support of the Adelanto Immigration Detention Center, since that is in his district. We would just like to see him making public appearances and voicing his support for ICE.
Okay.
Yeah, one more thing, I just want to say that everyone here today, we are the voice of the voiceless. We want to make sure that our voice is heard. You know, through you, you'll be able to share with Congressman and Congressman Cook, and it's important that, you know, he hears our message, and I'm sure you'll pass it on to him.
Yes, sir.
So, thank you,
And,
Dakota.
and one of the real quick things, we're also a member of the Remembrance Project, so all of us have met many people whose family members have been murdered and killed violently
Exactly.
by illegal aliens. And when you're sitting talking to people, a lot of them have become our friends. And when you talk to these people who have suffered so much, it's hard to, it's very hard to sit and
Yeah.
it's very hard.
To hear their stories.
It's hard.
I agree. I'm close friends with a Border Patrol agent who suffered a traumatic brain injury down on the border, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, you know, again, I really appreciate you talking to us. I really do.
Absolutely. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
stopping by.
Thank
Okay, Dakota, thank you.